Welcome back to the channel. This is the EOS Network, and today we are going to do another comparison on the Galaxy Buds 2s and the Galaxy Buds Pros. So stay tuned. Right after the drop, we'll get right into it. All right, guys, so welcome back to the channel. We already said that earlier after the introduction, but here we are again. Kind of forgot. Anywho, here is the comparison between the Galaxy Buds 2s, which is over to the left, and the Galaxy Buds Pros, which are over to the right. Now, what we're going to do is a quick synopsis of the specs between each one, so you can see how similar they are in terms of talk times and battery life. And then we're going to just look at the headset, actually look at the shape of the headset, how it fits in the ear, amongst other things, talk about that, and then decide which one is better overall. Because again, for each person, it really depends on what you prefer. So to the left, the Galaxy Buds 2s are $149 regular, right here. And to the right, we have the Galaxy Buds Pros for actually $199, which they do vary between $169 and $199, regular price being $199, $169 to $179 being on sale. But remember, sale prices is only in certain regions and locations and certain stores. It's not a guaranteed thing, so we're just going to go based on the regular $200 price mark. They do both have wireless charging. Now, the battery life is where it slightly differs. Like you see, you get 5 hours for ANC on with the Buds 2, excuse me, and you get 7.5, let's say 7 hours or so with the ANC off. While with the Buds Pros, you get 5 hours with ANC on and you get 8 hours with ANC off. So it's not that much of a difference. Now, what I will say is that the case for the Buds 2 actually charge it longer and keep a longer charge overall than the Buds Pros. Where the Buds Pros top off at 28 with ANC off and the earbud itself, while this one tops off with 29, the Buds 2s. While with ANC on, these last 20 hours plus, and that's with the case, while these last 18. So you do get less battery life overall total with the Galaxy Buds Pros, but ultimately you're not going to really notice that if you still have the same type of charging times. If you charge it at night, certain things, you charge it at work when you need it, you'll be perfectly fine. You won't really notice a difference in that type of performance. Now, this is where it kind of takes off just a little bit. IPX7 for the Pros, IPX2 for basically the Galaxy Buds 2s. So if we're talking about sweat and dust resistance and whatnot, you don't want to have these at a construction site. I know some people do buy their headphones and they do a lot of sawing and whatnot and welding and, you know, just working, physical work. The Buds Pros would be better for that overall, though I wouldn't suggest either on the simple fact that in that type of work environment, eventually your product is going to get damaged, whether you're banging it back and forth or is in your pocket. Always carry a case on your product. This is what I always say, same with phones, because these things aren't built to last necessarily. It's more beauty and convenience than anything. And protection is always secondary when it comes to headphones. What else do we have here? So just go down a list of features for one, and then we're going to jump to the other one. So this one has noise cancellation, active noise cancellation, but it's not adjustable, meaning when you turn on noise cancellation, it's just one setting for the Buds 2s. While on the other hand, the Buds Pros, you do have the option of changing how it sounds in the settings. You have a high and you have a low feature. So for those that don't like that suction too much, you could turn it lower where it gives you less pressure in your ear in the Pros. So if noise cancellation leveling is what you want, the Pros is the better option. Transparency mode. This does have transparency mode, but what it lacks compared to the Buds 2 is that the Buds 2 actually had the more in-depth transparency mode that allows you to actually adjust the volume of the transparency. So I'm sure with a simple update, the Galaxy Buds Pros can easily get that without an issue because it's capable of more than what the Buds 2s are. So I wouldn't worry too much about that one also. They both have gaming modes. So again, gaming mode is basically only used with Samsung devices. What that means is that it's specifically made so that the latency will be a lot less than normal. So when you shoot a gun in Call of Duty, you'll hear the bullets being shot. Instead of just hearing it later on, you'll hear your footsteps. It's specifically catered better to Samsung users, though me as a OnePlus user or Motorola or any phone that I use for that matter, I don't have that issue because latency is still decent, even if it's not in gaming mode. But remember, that's a Samsung feature only with these buds. Now, so far, I know that the Buds 2 is going to have watch support for the Galaxy 4, the new watch that came out. Again, with updates, I'm sure that the Pros will also have it. And I can't exactly tell you what the support is going to be necessarily. Probably from watch the phone to answering phone calls and transferring information and whatnot, things like that. But ultimately, again, I answer for my watch. My buds pick up right away, and that's good enough for me. But for someone that wants a more in-depth explanation of that one, the next video when I talk about the Buds 2s and any issues they have, I would definitely do that. So I didn't forget about you guys. Voice Detect is on the Galaxy Buds Pros. You do not have that on the Galaxy Buds 2. You have SmartThings Find compatibility. They don't have that for the Galaxy Buds 2. Wireless power share is on both of them. And the most important feature, which people don't really use, well, the average user may not use or know about, is that spatial audio is an option that is on the Galaxy Buds Pros, while the Galaxy Buds 2s do not have spatial audio at all, and are probably not going to have any support for it, because if you put all the features that on, if you put all the features from the Pros on the Buds 2s, what's going to happen is you're going to devalue one headset over the other, and Samsung still wants the Pros to be a premium headset. So that is the major differences in the headphones. Now, spec-wise, now, if we're talking about case size and how it looks, they're almost identical. No, you cannot switch these around and have the buds charge in either case because the pins are in different locations. So that's not possible. Just for anyone that wants to ask that question. Size wise, this is the part that really, really matters. So what I'm going to do is pull out the Galaxy Bud. I'm going to pull out the Galaxy Bud 2, and you can look at the size difference. And for those that feel as if one may be bigger than the other, trust me, the smaller one will fit better and it's much more comfortable. But there's an issue with that too, and we'll talk about that. So when you look at the two of these headphones, the Galaxy Bud Pros right here are definitely bigger. They're wider. And right now you may say, oh, well, it doesn't look too bad because of the shell of how it looks. Let's flip it around on the side. You have this big part right here that sits in your ear, and that's the part that actually irritates me a little bit when I use these earbuds, because I don't use them the recommended way. They show you in a setting how to put it in your ear, but we all know that when we put an earbud in, we fit it the way we want to get the best sound out of it, and that might be detrimental to your eardrums. Again, you just have to keep that in mind. So when you look at this headset and just the way it's shaped and the way it looks, the Galaxy Bud 2s are smaller, they're lighter, and they fit in your ear canal much, much better. But you will get better quality of sound in terms of music from the Galaxy Bud Pros. They have better and clearer music in them. But it's not to say that these are bad at all, because they're not. It is a $50 difference, and it does show, but not so much where it's like you're using a low-end product. This isn't like AirPods and AirPod Pros, where there's a major difference between the two. It's not comparable. These still are great buds, and these are going to be my primary because of how well they fit in my ear and how good they feel. Because I wear my earbuds all the time. I do reviews with these things in in general. These are the ones I were using for most of my reviews for the most part. The ones that were clear anyway. And the other ones I let people know what I was using so you can hear the call quality. And I mean, the record quality, and sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but these have always been perfect and crystal clear where you can hear my lisp 100 miles away. So anyway, if we're just talking about size and look, they're almost identical. If we're talking about shape in your ear, the Galaxy Buds 2s are definitely going to be a better option for you. There you go, about Galaxy Buds 2s. If we're talking about just the call quality, spatial audio, if you're a music head and you really want to hear it more, obviously you wouldn't buy either one of these if we're talking about a real music head. But if we're just talking about a person that only prefers earbuds and you want something Samsung, or you want something that's mainstream that you're aware of, that you can get a replacement plan at Best Buy and you can actually get support for your headphones, the Galaxy Buds Pros are the way to go. Just because they came out earlier than the Buds 2, by no means are they behind them. Maybe, I think they're Bluetooth 5.1, I believe, and these are 5.2. But other than that, the Pros are without a doubt the winner in this. I'm sorry, you see my finger here? There you go. See, I got to move these over a little bit using a different stand. There we go. The Pros are without a doubt the better headset overall. They have better call quality, which is going to come out clearer and a little bit louder, while the call quality for the Buds 2s, which are on the left, they tend to sound, it doesn't sound muddy or muddled, so per se. It's more so, it just sounds a little muddled compared to the Pros. The Pros definitely sound better. Now, everything that I talked about, we're going to throw one more headset in this mix, and I already took them back to the store. I got rid of them. I would never purchase them again. I left it like $20 at a pawn shop. The Beats Studio Buds are worse in almost every category outside of A and C. They do beat out the Buds 2s in A and C, but that is as far as it goes. Music quality, highs, mids, everything else. You already know Samsung is the king of that in terms of just overall quality. We're not talking highest quality. We're talking overall quality, from talk time to this to that. They check a lot more marks than a lot of these either off-brand or other companies. Again, one of the reasons I don't compare AirPods, because I'm primarily an Android user, and AirPods can never, ever in life be updated with an Android phone, so that automatically cancels out the running of anything. Until I get another Apple device, which hopefully I never do, that's when I'll do another comparison of like AirPod 3s or something, but we'll see when they come out. But again, that should be the video right now. It didn't have to be too long. If you're price conscious and you don't mind spending $149, definitely get the Buds 2. This is what I use. It's super comfortable. I love the way they feel in my ear. You can't go wrong. If you want something more high end, you have bigger ear canals, you're okay with the Galaxy Bud Pros. They're going to get better sound. You're going to get better call quality. You're going to get slightly better battery life in terms of the headset itself. So slightly, you probably won't even notice it. But oh, you know what? I'm glad I said that. I'm glad I said that at the last minute. Actually, the Galaxy Buds, when we talked about the 5 hours ANC and the 7.5 for the Buds 2, that's when you're consuming media. Remember, these have 3.5 hours in the actual headset itself when you're talking to someone. Now, the Galaxy Bud Pros do beat the Bud 2s out in terms of battery life. So with active noise cancellation on, with the talk time, you'll get 4 hours, which is a half an hour more than these. On the other hand, with active noise cancellation off, you'll actually get 5 hours out of these. So 5 off, 4 on, while you'll get 3.5 on or off with these. So you do get better battery life regardless with these. This is similar to the Pixel Buds, which I did have an issue with because they died extremely fast. But on the other hand, they didn't have active noise cancellation. The Pixel Buds A, which are $99, which these, in my opinion, are much better than those. If you decided to do comparison, it's comparable, but once you go A and C and you use that in a public area, you don't go back to regular headphones. It's very hard to take a step backwards. Now, if you're driving to your commute, you never see a train, you never see a bus, you're never around anybody, well, you're just jogging, you can get any earbuds you want. Outside of that, there are budget buds that you can get for $50 that sound great. But we're talking about Samsung right now. So overall, these are the winner. I do suggest these over these if we're talking about just quality of overall sound, battery life, and whatnot. But I will say, again, these are upgrade to the Galaxy Buds Plus. Don't think, just like AirPod 3s are not going to compare to AirPod Pros. They're the upgrade to the AirPod 2s, which is basically the same thing as one. They didn't really do anything differently. But that's how I look at this. But these do have the active noise cancellation, which should be standard, especially for $150. They have your ambient. They'll have everything that you need. You'll be perfectly fine with these if you pick them up. And 9 times out of 10, this ear design will fit better than the Pros. But that's up to you as a consumer to figure that out on your own and try it for yourself. If you have any questions, comment section, all that fun stuff, like, subscribe. Do prefer if people subscribe to these videos so I can get more content out. And I always give a truthful opinion about Buds. They don't pay me for anything. I pay for everything. And this is just a hobby. And I love doing what I do. So with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Till then.